Hello, everybody. You're on with Pastor Hosea Collins of Calvary Baptist Church. Day 2's devotional this week on Tuesday. We're dealing with the fact that joy comes from insight, not eyesight. Joy comes from insight, not eyesight. James chapter 1 verse 2. My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into divers temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. But let patience have a perfect work, that you may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. Count it all joy when you fall into divers temptations, meaning various trials and tribulations. We're still looking at God's purpose in tribulations. Why would he say count it joy when you fall into trials and tribulations? Like, who does that? Let's look further at what he says. After he says count it joy when you fall into divers temptations, he says knowing this, which means if you don't know this, you won't be able to count it joy. Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. It's important for you to know you're not being tried. Your faith is being tried. Jesus said this is the victory that overcometh the world, even our faith. Why is that so critical? Because it's not you that's under attack, it's your faith. We already have the victory. Jesus gave it to us. Satan knows that. So what does he do? He attacks our faith, which maintains our victorious status in a practical sense. He will always attack that. Now, trials and tribulations are coming to try your faith. It's coming to try your ability to believe God's promise despite what you see, what you hear, what you touch, what you taste, and what you feel. That's what it's about. Can I still believe God in the midst of what I'm going through? And whenever I'm doing that, watch this, that tribulation, the Bible says the trying of my faith, it works patience in me. Here's what's critical. Let patience have a perfect work. Patience is your employee. Don't clock her out. Let her stay clocked in. Patience works for you. Don't let him off the clock. He's working in your favor. Patience has a perfect work. Why? So that you may be mature, you may be complete, you may lack nothing. God says, I'm trying to grow you through that adversity. Why? No one enjoys lifting heavy weights, but you enjoy the results. And it's impossible to gain strength if you don't work out. God has to work out our faith. And certain tribulations, trials, circumstance, all of those are opportunities for me to grow my faith. God gave me faith, and God has dealt to every man the measure of faith, but you grow it through eating and exercising. And without faith, it's impossible to please God. So every adversity is an opportunity to please God. See, when you change that perspective and you see it this way, joy comes from that insight, knowing this. You can have joy by what you know. Jesus said, these words have I spoken unto you, that your joy may be full. He said, I've told you the outcome so you can have joy despite of what it looks like. So my joy comes from insight, knowing that in the end I win, knowing the victory belongs to me, knowing how this thing ends up, knowing that weeping endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Knowing that gives me joy. That's my insight. Insight gives encouragement. Eyesight gives discouragement. That's why we walk by faith and not by sight. So the rest of the day as you meditate on this, check your insight and make sure it's greater than your eyesight. God bless. See you tomorrow.